David Garofalo of the Cigar Authority. You're listening to the Leaf and Ash Podcast, the cigar podcast that I listen to.
The cigar podcast that I listen to.
That's right. What's going on? Surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Panda Baby. Let's go on this surprise live with the 2 chooches out of the 4 chooches. So you got myself, Panda. We got this guy right over here, the Bougie Don, and Waldo, our own personal Waldo, PC, a.k.a. Silverback. What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday.
Man, happy Sunday.
What's happening, man? Happy Sunday.
Yeah. This was a last-second decision. We're like, you know what? Let's talk about the fight. I'm like, well, we're going to talk about the fight. You know what? We might as well share with the people that watched the fight as well last night. So hopefully these guys start getting notifications saying that, oh, no, look who's on, the Leaf and Ash. You know, we can't miss out on them. Let's go. Oh man, how's everybody's Sunday so far, man? It's already almost 2 p.m. on Eastern time. I know Donnie Boy's almost one over there.
Yep, almost 1. Yep, just chilling out, man. Had some breakfast and sitting there watching. I watched Top Gun Maverick this morning. So
look at you.
That's such a good show. What up? Hey, there's our boy right there, boy. The Hayes Gray guys. What's up, Pedro? Good morning, baby. How you doing, Bubba? Yeah, so I mean, we got to watch the fights last night, right? The UFC, what was it, 329?
329, yeah.
You know, and the hype of Conor McGregor coming back after 5 years of his injury, recovering, doing this and that. We'll get to him momentarily because if we start talking about it, then the show's going to end just as fast. Just say it. You know what I mean?
True.
I mean, it was such a disappointment, and I don't want to talk about it just yet because there were 1, 2, 3, 4 other cards. I know there were a lot more than that, but where the actual live action actually started was with Ken Green versus Terrence McKinney. If you guys remember that fight, McKinney was serving this dude a 1, 2, 3 pieces like crazy. Oh, what's going on, Cigars and Dads? Good morning.
Actually, that was a grudge match between friends. And I think one friend was taking it extremely personal about that particular match.
well, it was King Green. If you notice, after he won, with literally 1 second left before the round was over, because
that was crazy. That's kind of a crazy stoppage with 1 second left.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, if you look at the time span that McKinney was on the ground getting pounded on with nothing returned, I gotta respect the ref in that capacity because one, that tells me that he's not paying attention to the clock.
Right.
And that's my opinion of it, right? That he wasn't, because if he was, he would have held off a few more seconds or that 1 second left.
If you watch the whoever's team was behind him was back there going 5, 4, 2. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you know
what, McKinney, and he didn't argue at the stoppage. He didn't get up going like, "What are you doing?"
Because like I said, for probably a good 10 seconds, man, he was getting pounded on with nothing returning, and he's doing is covering his face.
Yep.
You know, so it kind of, like I said, I thought it was a good stoppage. What was that?
Well, you look at what took place is he was actually controlling the whole fight until he took a body shot, and that punch in the liver, you know, most people don't think that it'll take the wind out of you. It will.
Oh yeah.
And it will put you down. It will make you curdle just a little bit.
It started with the front kick, right?
Yeah.
It didn't get him fully, but it got him enough. And remember, that was pretty much after he was swinging like crazy. So he was already probably gassed out. You know what I mean? Think about it. He was gassed out. And think about it. like if you've ever been in a real fight or a competitive fighting, I've been there. That the slightest touch, especially if they catch it the right time, if you're inhaling while you're getting kicked, right? Because the whole idea when you strike or you kick or whatever, they teach you to exhale. It's like that's why you hear all that. They exert. The whole purpose of you exhaling, it tightens up your core, right? So that if you do get counterpunched or kicked or whatever, you should be able to absorb that impact. I guarantee you, even though that front kick wasn't as strong as it should have been, but it made enough damage to back him up. And then when he caught him with the gut shot, I think he was just gassed out, man.
Yeah, because they had one, they were grounding and pounding, throughout the whole first round. And you can tell when they did get on their feet, he was kind of like trying to get it back.
It was weird though, because McKinney was controlling the fight. I mean, you remember he hit him with that one punch, and we all started laughing because we're like, man, that dude just did the stanky leg trying to get out of there.
Right?
Like that dude was wobbly.
Yeah,
King Green was, he was getting served a couple of 1-2 pieces at a time. But I mean, you saw he was all bloodied up.
I'm not a fight expert. I mean, I love watching the fights and everything, but it seems to me like he wobbled him with that punch, and then he immediately scooped him up and took him to the ground and gave him time to get his head back about him.
Right.
You got to take more of his feet off him. Good, PC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a grudge match, and it was simply because when the match was offered, the McKinney took the fight, and Green was like, "Why are you taking this fight?"
Right.
And because we're friends, and because he has a whole different ideology of how he see fighters should be fighting. Friends shouldn't be fighting friends, in the sense that he was looking at it, and he got offended, and they got thrown off about the entire.
Ain't no friends inside the lines, baby.
Listen, I've had to fight mutual, friends of mine and stuff like it. Does it change the fight a little bit? It does.
Right.
Has it broken friendship? It has. I remember when I used to compete. Think about it. In our own dojo, we used to have what we used to call rendori. Rendori is like a practice fight drills and stuff like that. And things would escalate because listen, we're men. Testosterone kicks in, and you ain't gonna outshine me. It is what it is. But to me, at the end of the day, especially within your own dojo, you know what? You gotta respect, the challenge. Like I wouldn't take it personal because to me, it's like, okay, you got me this time, And to me, if you have a really good dojo brother or sister, you never cheat them in the dojo. You never cheat them out. Don't ever half it. When we used to do techniques, and I would watch my students do techniques that I know that they're not doing properly, and their dojo brother or sisters faking it just so that they don't feel the pain. That would just honestly piss me off. So I would intervene, and the person that's cheating, I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. This is how you're supposed to do it. And I would give little hints. I go, watch his feet. Watch when he gets, and I would crank him, do the technique, what we call a sankyo, which is a wrist manipulation, or nikyo, which is a joint lock this way, And I go, watch his feet. When you lift up, he's going to go on the balls of his feet. That's how you're doing the technique right. And obviously it takes time, if you training to know who's cheating and who's not. But to me, in a fight like this, you could tell he was really he was taking it personal. And the reality, he was getting his ass handed to him. He really was getting his ass handed to him.
And to me, Terrence had the more skills than Green.
Yeah.
And then he just got the right punch at the right time where he can, where the tide changed in my opinion,
Man, but what you said was right. If you have someone that in the days, why are you going to try to take him to the ground? We do ground fighting. That's not our forte. We fight until we end up on our feet, until we get to the ground. And obviously, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is so different, right? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is they want to take you to the ground, and being in the line of work that I'm in, I think that's the last place we want to be, but that's no here or there. The fight after that, this fight to me was a pretty damn good fight. Brandon Royval versus Lorna Kavanaugh. That kid, I don't know how young that was when PC kept that calling babyface.
Babyface assassin.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously he's got to be in his early 20s, right? 19, 20. And I give it to him. The kid is in very good shape, and they were tagging the crap out of each other. That to me, that fight was a good fight. And to me, in my opinion, honestly, that fight was probably the best fight. If anyone was going to get a bonus, I would say that would be, because it ended up all 3 rounds. It ended in submission with round 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and I got to see Royval fight when I went to Vegas, when I went to the card. He fought Joshua Van. Joshua Van beat him, and that was a bloodbath. That was just a pound for pound, fist to fist, let's go fight. So I knew he could fight.
Right. And the kid was tough as the kid is tough as nails, as far as I'm concerned.
The funny thing that was, I think during the fight, Panda, you said, man, that dude needs to move his head. I said, he is. Every time he gets punched, his head's going back.
But it's funny because I noticed with a lot of these guys, what I would think, and if you notice, if you guys been watching UFC for a long period of time, how things have changed, right? Now you've seen a lot of these MMA guys mixing in a lot of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a lot of boxing, a lot of stand-up game to kind of tenderize their opponent, so to speak, right? But the thing is, like, one thing of boxing is the bob and weave, right? You get these guys that get so fixated of just head hunting. That if you think about most of these hits are all head hunting, and it's like I can never understand that, especially when you're going to use your martial arts, the jab. To me, you got to be able to adapt and be able to consolidate both skills, man. And I've only seen maybe a handful of UFC fighters that have actually taken boxing and then mixed martial arts combined to the next level.
Well, I'm not to get too far ahead of ourselves. That's like, why rein me back in, but even Conor, when he stopped when he stopped doing UCF, he went and boxed with Mayweather to get that boxing skill up. So, and then a lot of other MMA fighters went to, that style of going to boxers to get, to work on their boxing skills, because a lot of it is boxing when you first start off, because you're not just looking to do judo or karate or jiu-jitsu or something like that. So you have to work your way into the martial arts of the entire MMA function of it, as far as I see it.
Yeah, it's just, to me, a lot of these guys, and you notice they fight back and forth. There's very few people that, so to speak, stick and move, right? Hit, move. But it's not just only go in, take a 2-piece, and coming back out. No, you want to be able to handle your business, step back, and go left or right. Because what it forces your opponent to do is not allow them to move forward with you, right? As you're going back, the action is to go forward, right?
Right.
So if I go 1, 2, and I go step back, what did I just do? I just redirected your path, right? So you got to learn how to make your offense your defense, and your defense your offense. So and that was one thing that we always taught, especially when we used to go to tournaments. You know what I mean? Don't just hit and move back. No, hit, move back, and take a side. Go left or right. Force the opponent to follow you and redirect. If they're left-handed, you move to the right, to the left or the right. You stay away from their strong side. That's always the thing. What's up, Clint? He's like, whoa, what's going on, brother?
And then that counteracts the speed that you run across. So if somebody's faster than you, that bobbing and weaving, they got to pick their target at that point in time.
Of course. What's up, Brent? But this is what I'm trying to say though. The thing is this: if you're able to, if I'm standing southpaw, right, and and you come hit me, and I go forward, and you make me move to my right, which is over here going to your left, but you make me go, you're redirecting me, which sets you up for your next offense. You get what I'm saying? Because you just took their offense away from them.
Right.
But, excuse me, but that to me is just always something that I've always wondered, why aren't these guys, and maybe they are practicing, and then, when you're in a fight, listen, your game plan, is never going to be what's going to happen in the ring for real. Kung Fu Panda lessons. That's right, baby. So, and that, like I said, we used to teach in our dojo all the time, to always, first, we used to always teach people how to defend left side first. Why? Because the majority of people are right-handed in the world, right? So we always taught people left. And if you're right-handed, it's awkward for you to teach somebody to train left-handed and vice versa. But it's important for you to train both sides. But yeah. But I thought that fight deserved, fight of the night, in my opinion. Those two young guys. I'm going to forget about the first preliminary. I'm talking about within these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these 5 fights. Out of those 5 fights, I think, mind you, they're flyweights. And just like in boxing, I love those lightweight guys, man, because they throw hands, bro. Starting this stuff. Okay, next one. Mario Batista versus Corey Sandhagen.
This one surprised me.
Yeah. What do you think? What surprised you the most about it, Don?
Because just from watching Corey Sandhagen in the past, he was kind of a dog, man. He kind of went in there looking for a fight, and he just didn't seem like he was looking for a fight last night. Looked like he was trying to play a lot of defense, a lot of counter. He wasn't taking the fight to Batista, and Batista just pieced him up.
I don't think he believed that Batista could hit as hard as he hit.
Well, that and at the end, so the fight ended up 29-28, so it was 2-1. Mm-hmm. So at the end there, in the third round, you either got to know that it's 1-1 or you're down 2-0, one of the two, because you ain't up 2-0, that's for damn sure, because you got pieced up in the second round.
Right.
So you got to know it's 1-1 or 2-0, and he just let Bautista throw him around in that third inning. Like, what do you have, about 10, 11 takedowns in that third inning, third round? Yeah, I mean, you got to know where you're at in the fight, man, and come to fight.
Now, did I understand it correctly? That was this fight taken on short notice, or was it the fight before?
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know that answer.
I can't remember. I don't know if anybody on watching live now.
I don't think it was this one because they were ranked 4 and 7. So
okay, so it was the fight before that he had taken it, because he ended up losing that fight. My understanding. So he lost. Okay, that's what it was. Go ahead, PC. I'm sorry.
What I do know, they had to move up in weight. So one of the boxers had to move up in weight, and at the end of the fight, he said he was very comfortable at being at that weight, and he was going to stay there and try to finish his career out at that weight that they were fighting at last night.
That fight was at bantamweight.
Okay.
So I'm curious because listen, I think this kid Mario Bautista, I think he's got a good career. There's a couple of things that I saw that he definitely needs to make adjustments in his style. It's just like just like it. Well, I shouldn't say that because MMA is a lot different than boxing. In boxing, the whole idea is hit and not get hit. Here you're gonna get hit, in smaller gloves, and it's gonna hurt a hell of a lot more. But I just think that these guys need to work on more angles, as opposed to just moving back and forth, man. It's not a game of tag, per se.
Yeah.
And this one, guys, the co-main event: Paddy the Baddy versus Benoit Saint. Let me tell you something, man. There's something special about this kid, man. Paddy the Baddy. This kid is I got to give it. He's got a lot of heart. You know, I don't think he's afraid to fight anybody, bro. You know, and
No,
he's got a
and
nasty ground game too that people underestimate. We got it done.
you know, for him, I'm not usually a fan of the shit talkers. You know, that kind of, you know, the mouth's always moving. Like, God, you just want to go, somebody shut this kid up, you know. But I'll tell you what, you know, when he got in there with Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
But you know what? But you know what? He stood up at the end of the fight, hugged, you know, him and Gaethje are boys, so they're, you know, and he stood in the ring and did the after interview. You know, didn't hang his head in shame. Like, I mean, I you know, he had that thought of like, I just got in there with the best in the world, and he beat me up. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you saw his face. Listen, I don't think I've ever seen his face that banged up.
Yeah. Yeah, that Darce choke was.
Yeah, that was sick. I don't think I've ever seen a choke. I mean, well, let me finish my first thought because I'm thinking about that chokehold. That chokehold was special because he was doing that gator spin, right? Trying to get out of that choke. And you notice every time he spun,
He got deeper.
It just got to the point that Patty had to tell the ref, he's out.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
Yeah, and I just love Patty's energy to what he brings to the ring, man, and it's the excitement that we all look for. You know, you have boxers that come with no personality, but that personality, it draws you into the ring. So now let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see how this is gonna play out.
Well,
And
I don't know if you saw the after interview. After when he got back in the locker room, they were interviewing him while the main event was on. I know we're gonna get to that in a minute, but when it was over, he looked up. He goes, "Oh, McGregor's done. Well, I guess I'm the guy now. I guess I'm the dude. I guess I'm the face of the UFC."
Oh wow. Wow. Hey, the only way to get there is to claim it. And it's like whoever claim it first, they put you at the top of the list, and then everybody else have to try to knock him off the top.
There's just something about Patty that I really I respect. You know what I mean? And let me tell you, have you guys ever seen him when he's off training camp? How big he gets?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even look like himself. He's got to gain 30, 40 pounds easy.
Dude, in the afternoon, I was just talking about, he was eating a piece of pizza.
But the man had plenty of time. The fight ended in what, 52 seconds?
Yeah.
Something
52
like that.
seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, come on now. I mean, that man, not a scratch on him. And mind you, and once again, if you listen to his after interview, right, he already knew this guy's technique. Hit, try to take you down. So you could tell that he worked on that choke, you know, during training camp, and he went to the T. Like
he knew Benoit was gonna, or Saint Denis was gonna come in, you know, low, and as soon as he did, he wrapped him up, and he was like an anaconda, man. Like you said, every time that guy spun, that choke got deeper.
It was crazy. But
He really was, man. I have never seen anything like that. It seemed like the more he moved, the tighter he kept squeezing and constricting, like a boa constrictor.
Well, I said it last night. That was almost like a Tyson fight back in the day, man. You get up to go get some popcorn, and you come back in the fight, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?"
No, that's the next fight momentarily we'll be talking about. Well, you know, but yeah, and to me, and I ain't even gonna lie, I had to use the restroom, and I'm like, nah, I want to see at least the first round before the, you know, I'm like, yeah, what a waste. But okay, so here we go, guys. So now we got to talk about this fight. And I don't know if you guys been watching ESPN, or I've been getting a lot of notifications in regards to guys. Rumor has it that he possibly might have injured his knee before he got into the ring. They were showing it when he was taking off his stuff to get, you know, whatever the pat down, so to speak.
Right.
They were showing that he was favoring that right leg. You know,
he came out this morning and he posted that was absolutely untrue. He was ready to go and blah blah blah. But you know, that might just be saving face. Who knows? You know.
Yeah. Was it a massive disappointment?
Oh. I walked in last night and said, "Man, I'm glad I didn't pay $89.95 for that fight."
Yeah, no,
Right.
not only that, right? And you said, I think last night you said it yourself because you've been to a UFC fight, and how much are the nosebleed sections?
Well, I went to a lesser card. The main event when I went was Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira. So, and I paid in the nosebleeds. We paid like $4.90 a ticket. So for McGregor Holloway, those were $600-700 in the nosebleeds, no doubt.
Yeah, but you know what?
Can you imagine?
No,
I'd be
but
so
the thing,
mad.
but you know what though? But and I said that, but all because you have a lot of people that never show up for the preliminaries. You
Yeah.
know, they normally go right after the preliminaries. That's when you start people seeing a lot of people starting show up, especially a lot of celebrities. Because this was in Vegas, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was at T-Mobile in Vegas. Yep.
And that place was packed to the gills.
Yep.
You know, but
Celebrities and everything else.
But when you buy that ticket, you know that those fights can end in seconds. If that's but still that's got to be just a hard pill to swallow, man.
yeah, what I just don't understand is what the hell was he thinking coming out with the flying roundhouse kick? And I think Joe Rogan was talking about, if you've never done it, I need you to understand something. When you do a roundhouse kick to begin with, your foot that's planted, the whole idea is to set that kick up. It's hard when you're doing it, jumping up in the air, hoping that your opposite leg, that's going to be your foundation, gets a solid contact with the ground. And you could tell his foot got stuck. His foot got stuck while his body's still going in momentum, with the momentum. And you could tell. I go, what was it? He blew out his ACL, right?
That was the thought last night. Yeah. Afterwards, they said it.
I think they announced it. I'm not sure, but I mean, to me, I don't understand. Why start off that way? If you want to start with something, start with at least a flying knee. If you're gonna do something crazy, you know what I mean? And credit to Holloway. You know what I mean? He could have taken advantage of it. He even told the ref, and the ref was like, "Hey, sun's up." And McGregor, he knew the fight was over, and that fight lasted what, a minute?
Minute 9.
A minute and 9 seconds.
Well, I think what McGregor wanted to do, since it wasn't the leg that he hurt, he wanted to show that he could use that leg, but that was an amateur move, and he shouldn't have never done it. I wouldn't have done it. I would have taken my time to fill out my opponent, and then if I wanted to show off that my leg was sturdy, the one that I broke, back when we fought before, I would have used it. But I wouldn't have done that because he was still exposed with the kick itself because he hadn't set it up.
Yeah, I just
and for me, I'm a huge Holloway guy. I love Max Holloway, and for me, I'm just gonna say this: that saved him from taking a beating last night because he was going to take a beating.
See, I don't see, and this is the problem, and I disagree. I don't think he would have taken a beating. I think he would have. Even though I wanted him to, and my bet was on him. I just think that
and not only was your bet on him, you guys don't understand. This man was salty last night. This man was salty.
He was like a salt lick last night.
There's no secret. I was pissed last night, man, because all this hype for how many months, and for it to end in a minute, and then you wait up all that time, right? You wait up all that time, you wait up to see the action, and it's over in a minute.
Yeah, wasted 2 beers and 2 cigars on that, waiting for that.
Well, you got to thank George Foreman for that, man, because you got all these boxers and wrestlers and MMA fighters coming back from retirement or whatever you want to call it, a long extent away from the sport, and it's a physical sport. Now, George Foreman was, you got very few people that can come back and do that. We've seen it in the last few months where you have older legends coming back to the game, and that makes me ask the question: should they even come back? Whether it's good for MMA, boxing, football, basketball, baseball, should they even come back? Because now that just means that the people that are in the sports, you got to up your damn game to the legends. yeah, we love the legends. Why allow them to come back and tarnish their legacy?
Yeah.
What
Yep,
do you
I agree.
say? What do you say nope about? I'm assuming this has got to be Carmen or is this Lewis?
You know, as good of a card as the White House card was, MMA, UFC had all the hype around it coming out of that card. Man, that was 7 great fights. Seven fights, 7 knockout or 7 stoppages. 7 knockouts. To come out of that card, and then to follow it up with, and this one had the makings of a great card. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I don't blame them for the fights that they put together. They just
Right.
didn't work out the way they. You walked out. You walked out of that. I walked out of last night. Almost with that little. I hate to say dirty feel, but that that let down feeling. Like this wasn't.
Well, when you compare it to the White House matches, you're right. I mean, that honestly, I think any fight right right after that, I don't think it's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Because those guys, during that fight, during that was it 328, to me, I think everybody wanted to shit. He too old for that sport on pro level. There is some truth to that, as Luis.
And as we age, us three know this. As we age, your joints and your ligaments, those ligaments start getting more brittle. That your joints start, And I know Connor's he's probably in his mid 30s, so he's not there yet. But it's different than a 20-year-old. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Well, here's my question, because you see a lot of this in boxing too, and I think it's the competitive spirit in them, the fighter in them. I think this is in any sport, right? Especially when you're at that level. I think that until something like this happens, that reality really kicks you in the ass and be like, dude, your prime is over. You're done. And it's a hard pill to swallow.
A perfect example was Derek Lewis in the White House card. He was a beast back in the day. He was a shell of himself in that White House. He got beat up in that White House card. And I said it that night. I said, somebody in his camp has to look at him in the eye and go, "You're done, dude. That's it. We're not doing. I'm not training you no more. We're done."
And I get it. It's okay to be a living legend, man. I'd rather be a living legend and hold the stature that I hold and be healthy than be a living legend and a disgrace, and not so much as a look totally down on, as if you didn't make good choices about your future, man. So,
but once again, PC, I tell you this, once again, it's that competitive fighting spirit that they have, and sometimes you need to have that big pie of humility and humble on that humble pie. You know what I mean? To give you that reality check, right?
I get it, bro.
You're no longer at that level, like Lewis said. He's no longer at that level, that pro level. Especially being out of the game for 5 years. Because think about it, he was out of the game for 5 years. But how many of those 5 years was he, recovering from that leg break? It was a massive leg break. Not everybody could come out of retirement per se and be able to be dominant like they were prior to them leaving.
No, I get that part of it, and I'll just give you an example for you. I was a football player. I was a football player for years, man. I could not watch football after seeing the things that I was seeing. I just couldn't watch it, and because I wanted to be out there, that flame was burning in me. I wouldn't even go play flag football anymore because it wasn't the same. I wanted to be in that gridiron, but I get that. I get that. But at the same time, you have to know where you are, man, mentally, physically, and spiritually when it comes to the sport.
And it's easy for us to sit on a Sunday morning podcast and talk about Connor and
yeah.
But to what Louis said, he's fighting in a professional sport. Like, I have if Conor McGregor and me get into a scrap on the street, I'm done in 8 seconds. I'm not sitting there going, oh, he's a weak, he's a blah, blah. Like, he's a world-class athlete, but I think his time has passed him in that level.
Right in that arena, yeah.
Oh, here's a question from Pedro. UFC 330. Who y'all got, Gary? I'm like,
I don't know a lot about Gary. I don't know a lot about him, so
I don't care. I just want him to win.
Yeah.
There
you go.
I want Gary to win.
You better put your money on the other guy then.
What he 3-1 done.
1-3.
1-3.
I don't appreciate this. I didn't say let's go live for y'all to pick on me. Dang, friends like this, I keep saying
we're talking sports. We're talking sports.
Real. I'm telling you, Pedro, so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But
he was so happy he had his bets going last night. He had his 2 soccer games and his 2 fights.
And you know what's frustrating? In both of the soccer games, I was leading. I was doing so well, man. I was like, okay, I got my Hard Rock bet on. Let's go. Let's do this. All this for these clowns over here to clown me, man. I was just like, it was not saying saying that message. This last
Ronaldo the same way, Luis. Ronaldo was the same way when Portugal got eliminated. Was it Portugal? I think it was Portugal. Yeah. Whoever it was. When they got eliminated, it was to see the legend walk off the field, kind of. I hate to say a shell of their former self, but kind of a shell. That we all get old. We all lose a step. Time is undefeated.
Right.
Pedro salty, because the funny part that Rue and Ish, they had that bet because it was Portugal versus Spain, and who was gonna cook who a steak sandwich.
Yeah, age is undefeated.
Yes, even if some of us can't admit, you got that right, man. That's a fact, man. And you know what? You can't do what you used to do when you were 20. Dude, your recovery time is even now. I mean, you guys know I'm still recovering from my damn hernia. If I was in my 20s, I would have been done and out running again. I
was just about to say that, and it's no slap to you. Like if we're in our 20s, you get that done, bam, 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 couple of push-ups, couple of curls, and you're ready, and you're hitting the road. Nowadays right. It's
man, dude. Let me tell you, I can't even get out of the bed without something cracking or popping, man.
But that takes us back to the second fight, though. If you look at those kids, how they were fighting, both of those are 2 young men. They were putting punches on each other, man. You're able to move differently. You're able to move faster. You're able to take more punches, more punishment. And you think about it, the punches that was being thrown in that fight, those guys were taking licks, man, that the average person, as you get older, you can't take those licks, man.
Yeah, and on that note, guys, I told Ish after my brother cooks that steak, hope he... Hey, on that note, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this show.
King Pepper.
King Pepper himself. He's the new proud sponsor of the Leaf and Ash podcast on these sip and smoke pop-ups.
Hey, Luis, to answer your question, I don't even drink to excess now because I'm afraid of the hangover. So,
Dude, you know what? There's a fact to that. Let me tell you, what was it? What day were we drinking? Was it Friday? Was it Friday? I can't remember what day we were drinking. All I remember, I had. It seems that my number is 3. All I had was 3 drinks. The next day, I felt like I had a damn jackhammer in my head, and that rolled over to Sunday. And it wasn't until like Sunday midday that I started finally feeling better.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me right now, man? I'm like,
well, I got a confession. When I came down to Florida for the Great Smoke, I only had like 2 drinks. And when we had a full bar at our disposal.
It's a shame. But on a true note, guys, hold on. I gotta find it. We definitely want to give a shout out to these guys because we will be having them this Thursday, and we'll be helping them with the launch of.
We don't smoke in here.
Well, I fucking do.
There it is, the Busala by Hayes Gray Cigars, guys. We're gonna have Ru, Val, and Pedro on the 16th this Thursday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. On our Sip and Smoke. As always, guys, this is coming Thursday live on YouTube and Facebook. But I want to take a moment and a second too.
And while I was out there doing that, this is what Panda was doing.
Oh, that's not true. Panda was doing this.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. With that high knee step, you better watch your ACLs.
Yo, you telling, man? Oh my Lord, man! It is interesting, but you know what, Don? You want to do? Do you want to do that cigar? Yeah, the Busala is fire, absolute fire, guys. We were privy to be one of the first ones to kind of do a little test run on them per se, and I could tell you that cigar, it is fire, and I don't know if Pedro's still here or not, but and these guys, but I can tell you that, you know, they had, in my opinion, and I absolutely love the entire line of Hayes Gray, but that particular cigar to me is truly taking them to that next level. And and you guys know I go back and forth with the Brotherhood versus the Admiral, and I love that Barber Pole. That Barber Pole is absolutely delicious. Yeah. I'm not a big Barber Pole cigar smoker, but I absolutely love that Barber Pole. But yeah, like I said, this Thursday we're definitely gonna have Hayes Gray on, and I can't wait to chop it up because these guys have been doing a lot since our last interview with them. Yeah. And you know, these guys definitely got our support 150,000%. And I tell you know, I had a conversation with Ru not too long ago, and I'm like, man, you guys are ready for the PCA. You know, I honestly think that these guys are definitely ready for the PCA. I think they put, you know, boots to ground, and I think it's time for their platform to really, really and truly explode.
Too bad they don't get frequent flyer miles for the amount of miles they drive, because good Lord.
Facts.
And I would love to see them level up, man, you know.
Listen, I honestly think if they go to the PCA, I am telling you right now, yeah, we can't wait either, brother. Of course, nothing but love for you, brother. You know, I honestly believe once they go to the PCA, you're gonna see doors open. And I told Ru this the other day, man. Be prepared, because once you guys go out there and people get to experience, especially, you know, like I said, now that there's new coming, and the crazy part, and I don't want to get too much into this Busala because I want them to talk about it more than me. But let me tell you something. It was I wouldn't want to call it a mistake cigar, but it wasn't meant to be in their call line. And we'll get more into details with them on Thursday. So you guys, if you haven't heard the story in regards to how the Busala came about, you'll be hearing it on Thursday, man. But I can't wait. I truly cannot wait. And also, guys, where's the banner so I can pop that bad boy up real quick? And as you guys know, that this here, the TPA Smoke Fest, is going to be in Pensacola. That's in the the backyard of Hayes Gray, October 1st through the 3rd. October 1st is a Thursday. And what we have, guys, is a meet and greet with all the brand owners at a local brewery. You guys are going to meet us. You're going to meet the Leaf and Ash podcast, plus our cigar, Bonded by the Leaf. We'll have our own table out there as well, selling our own cigars, along with Hayes Gray, Banff, and a bunch of other cigar brand owners. I wish I knew them all, but also, like I said, save the date, Friday. So I've been. Let me take this off real quick. Where's the man? I go. I've been saying it backwards, and I got corrected this past meeting that we had. So Friday, VIPs getting in an hour early still, and we're still having the rolling class and on that day. And also, the dinner is actually Friday, not Saturday after the event. So I need to make that clear. That's my mistake, my error. I kept on repeating myself in regards saying that the dinner was on Saturday night after the event, and it's not correct. It is definitely yes. Is so after that, and mind you, the dinner, the VIP ticket includes the rolling class hourly, and plus obviously all the swag, but it also includes the dinner.
Saturday. How epic would that be? How epic would that be if we're out there at the festival and we get a Blue Angel flyover? That would be epic.
That's very much possible because that's one of my vacation spots, and they practice all the time.
Maybe we need to send out an invite to them. But yeah, guys,
definitely.
You know, and obviously then Saturday night after, you know, the after party is going to be at a local lounge. I know I don't want to say that I have a name in my head, but Pedro, if you're on, if you remember the lounge that we're going to be hitting up after the event on Saturday night, you can post it up there. I want to say it almost sounds like my last name, but it's not. I just want to make sure that I say it right. I don't want to kind of advertise something that's not proper. But anyways, yeah, guys. I mean, like I said, the event's going to be, in my opinion, I think it's going to be. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You know, especially with the rolling class, the pairing, the dinner. We're going to have games. We can do, you know, the long ash competition. We're doing smoke ring competition. I came up with a new one. I haven't proposed it to the so-called board, you know, of the TPA meeting, the TPA event. But I think, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'll announce it here. You know what the heck? I'm thinking of doing a team event and do it like a cigar trivia. You know, have a long table with 3 little bells. Ask them a question, let them ring that bell, and that would be, I don't know, for a 5-pack cigar, so everybody gets a cigar. You know, what? Oh, Roo. Hey, Roo, now that you're here, brother, hey, question for you. We're talking about the TPA event. What is the lounge, the after party lounge that we're going to? I'll give you a moment. I have a feeling that I believe I know what it is, but I don't want to mention it. So if you remember the name, we could post it up there. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're gonna have DJs. That it is Cordova. You know, that's Cordova cigars.
And that's a nice spot.
Yeah, they sent us some videos of the inside of that place, guys, and I'm telling you, that place is fun. And I believe I can fly. Yeah, you like that, right? Me.
He believes he can sing.
The delusion is real.
I've got video evidence. Don't even look at me like that. I've got video evidence.
Yeah, but that's after how many drinks, buddy? How many drinks, man? That's like a half bottle of 4 Roses and I don't know how many cigars. Listen, the Panda, when he enjoys himself, and he goes all out. He has no problems embarrassing himself. That's a fact. That is a fact. But yeah, I'm telling you. So the after part and the crazy part is that Roots. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the lounge is going to be, I think, soda for the after party, right? Make a joyful noise.
Yeah, but William, the impactful statement there is joyful.
What are you trying to imply, Don? What do you,
that you should have a solo singing career. You should sing.
And that's what I got to say about that.
I would take that.
I can take mine. I can take mine. I can take it. Not my finest half hour.
Dude. Hey, shout out to our boy JJ that was able to do that, man. JJ, you got to give credit where credit's due. JJ comes up with the most craziest things. And, you know, listen, he's like 99.9% of the stuff that you guys see that's posted on here. He's the one that comes up with this stuff. Credit, like I said, credit where credit's due. He's the one that came up with One Must Go, you know. And we actually forgot to do One Must Go, Don's version. I don't know if Don wants to do it now or save it for Thursday.
We're saving it for Thursday.
Okay.
Save it for Thursday.
Thursday's gonna be quite interesting. I'll say that much. You had a oh, yeah, after party for TPA only. Okay, perfect. There you go. We're gonna have a whole lounge to ourselves, guys. If you had a blonde wig, you have it so good. Dude, so the crazy part, so you guys, I'm kind of on the injured reserve list, and your boy Panda has not shaved in quite some time. Let me show you this. Look at this. Look. Well, look at these grays, man.
Grandfather.
Look at this, man. I'm
Grandfather.
like, I don't know. So I have not had this much hair in probably about close to 30 years, man. What happened? What's that look for?
I didn't see a whole lot of hair.
Let me show you again, buddy. Let me give you the round tour. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
That's the other zip code.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he's talking
That hairline's running for the back door there.
It's running from my face is what you trying to say? Oh my God, that's freaking hilarious, bro. What's this? The Mish hair. Yeah. Oh, there's too much hair. Yeah, oh my God.
Back pastures lush.
That was shoulder hair. Look at Lewis. Look. You know what? You can listen. Linda, listen. This guy here, and we gotta get his and hers on the podcast. We gotta figure out that because they're open until we're on the podcast. But hopefully we can make time to have them on. This guy, Luis, let me tell you something. Not only is he funny as heck, this man is quick. And when I mean quick on the comments that this man comes out with, I will never forget, and I won't repeat it. We were standing out at the lounge late night after hours, and some female decided to make a comment as she's driving by. Him and I, in the middle of a conversation, had a comeback. When I tell you, I almost pissed my pants because it would. And then he came back to the conversation like that didn't even happen. I'm like, dude, the two freaking boy had me pissing in my pants. And during the TPA meeting, hilarious, dude, freaking hilarious. But yeah, guys. Well, man, Louis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta let us know when you and Carmen are available. And you guys are getting a lot of acclimates, and that what we definitely would love to have you guys on to share with the people. So you guys let us know when you're able to. Who you never put on speakerphone.
That's my boy William. When he calls, it doesn't go on speakerphone.
You know what? I have a buddy that way, and he normally comes on during our live. The one we call him Buckethead Kurt. He's that guy you never put him on speakerphone ever, because you just don't know what's going to come out of that man's mouth. Yep. But anyways, guys, that 54 minutes we've been on, and we just started chopping it up in regards to the UFC fight. And as always, we kind of were talking about it. Say, hey, you know what? Let's go live. What the heck? We haven't done the spontaneous live in a while. So, but guys, as always, we truly appreciate everything that you guys do, especially jumping on unexpectedly. We actually got nothing but love for you guys. And we're going to be working on a couple of other things in the near future. Our boy JJ, he's on to other endeavors as well. So as you guys know, he's a full-time rep now for Big Sky. Congratulations to our boy JJ. Yeah. He's gonna be a traveling man just like this man down here. Like this Chucharoni, this one right there. Look at that head, man. Looking like a milk dud. Look at you. I'm a milk dud, sexy looking man. Look at it.
Hey, when I polish it up, the wife just give me a kiss.
So, guys, once again, we appreciate the support, and we'll catch you guys on Discord. And we'll catch you on the next unexpected sip and spit. What? You're alive after last day. You're better than Con. Wow. Yeah, that's sad, man. So sad. Reputation, right? But don't get me caught up on that conversation. But guys, we appreciate the love. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.